is the key ingredient.
You okay there?
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. I say way too much back.
So, he was serious about threatening?
Hey! Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs.
What kind of...
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is... That's not a good sign.
And there he goes.
Shh. I think we're Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in... You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourself?
So you're Linny. And where's your sister? Ain't she? Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not...
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister! Who sent you?
Save your questions, missy.
Looks like we can't avoid... Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready.
Don't worry, we got this!
And voila! Ow! Let's get this show on the road!
Curses. They're tougher than we thought.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation.
Come on, let's scram!
Hey, wise guys! We ain't through with you! Oh, they got away! Did you catch what... Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic. And they've already... You're right. Maybe she was too scared to tell...
Well, if that's... Let's head back to the cafe.
Gemma?
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I did...
Sounds like...
That's putting it mildly. It's been 10 long years. and still How do I know I can trust you?
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but because you see, this is a...
Okay.
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve But the place was sealed up by the police after. I also know that the Fleuve is dangerous territory.
Understood. Lynette,
Got it. But if I'm staying here...
I mean, bon appetit.
Okay. Alright. Power saving mode off.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocked. There we go. It should...
So this was Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props. Let's head in further. What was that? Oh, is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device. Bombs away!
Get him! No one escapes my sight!
Dodge this!
Let the show begin.
Freeze!
Don't get frostbite.
Water jet!
Step right up.
Whoa. Look. The doll in the box is glowing. There's something written on the card on this doll. Let's take a closer look. magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
This place seems a little too ordinary for... We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha!
A secret passage!
I'm a magician too, and apparently looks pretty big inside. Now disappear! Here comes the finale!
Get him! Go, go, Baron Bunny! No escape!
Dodge this!
Go, go, Baron Bunny! Water jet!
Oh, so sorry.
Ready, steady, go! Why have you stopped, Lenny? Is there...
It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on. If anyone makes a major discovery...
All right, see ya! Seems like we can't step on the same tile twice. Guess we've got to finish it in one run, huh? Caesar's own notes. He wrote a lot about the principles of magic. Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon. Hey, look! Is that Caesar's diary on the table? This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
At one of my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up. I wound up saving very little this month. But that's not... 2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. Anyway, they said that they wanted me to... I told them that learning magic is very hard work. But that didn't fit... It seems like something's bothering... Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I have a good feeling about those kids. They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. They wanted to call me Master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician with time, I have no doubt that they could become far Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around. It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. It's only been 10 days since I first met. They're very tough, but also very cautious. They hide things from me too. For example, that's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to... I can sense that their lives have been hard. Possibly even after thinking things over. I decided... P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so... P.P.S. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children are... Oh, Caesar. Just mind...
2 magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh? Sounds a lot like he was writing about Linny and Lynette, don't you think? So did they meet Caesar? Linny?
Shh, hold that thought.
Fishy?
All in good time. Before we go over our new... First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has... Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description.
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they... Of course, that's just how I think the process should work. The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box... He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house, and no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding...
So Caesar's famous high-altitude... Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to...
Glad you asked. That brings us to this... This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance. Once the magician's inside, and the box is lifted up into the air, from where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom. But the back and the top are now... At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box. He then escapes through this trapdoor onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy...
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick, there's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves... Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this. Caesar was a highly accomplished magician.
So, how did it go so wrong?
I can make a pretty good... I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand...
Okay.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here. which leads me to believe because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. But a magician needs to be able to redirect the essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the... And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align, but in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left. Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, but I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another. With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything.
When in reality, someone switched. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed?
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
You just couldn't let sleeping dog. There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. But I gave you your chance.
You mean Gemma?
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much, which is why you can't leave this place.
Step right up!
Get him! Go, go, Barrett Bunny! No one escapes by such... Water jet! Wipe out!
Don't get frostbite.
What's the hurry?
Now disappear!
Go, go, Barrett Bunny!
A round of applause!
No escape!
Dodge this! Oh, so sorry. Cool it. Had enough yet, Lorenzo? You're crone. I think it's high time you started talking.
If I had a mora for every time you said that man's name. He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fire.
So it was jealousy.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just... But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skill. He forbade me from using magic to trick people, and with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own... I had to kill him.
And this was your...
It was reason enough. What?
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors.
In love with Gemma.
Guess I was wrong about that then.
I am. Caesar was so strict with me. I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal...
That's just how it looked from the outside. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my...
So, that's the story, huh? Well...
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years.
Very well. Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo.
At least I can finally stop looking.
Lily has told me the whole story. Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to...
Look who's finally developed a... What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because there'll be hell to pay.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lenny? Should we start
Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma.
Good point! We should go tell Gemma the good news right